Welcome to Meeple Podcast, Season 4.
Hi everybody, welcome to Season 4 of Meeple Podcast. My name is Joaquin. For those who don't know me, I'm the postman of Carcassonne, the POC on BGA. If you are new to this sound channel, let me tell you that you are listening to the only podcast that exists about the game of 72 tiles. Let me also tell you that you have a lot of work ahead of you if you want to catch up, because this podcast has already more than 150 episodes. On the other hand, we include the music in independent episodes, which has been used as accompaniment for the podcast and is now also available from the Meeple Podcast Telegram channel, where you can also find direct access to the other informative channels, the website elcarterodecarcassonne.com, where you will also find the directories of resources and events, the blog Carcassonne Connection, and the online version of Meeple Letter, the newsletter of my project. But let's present the new Season 4, starting with a new look for Meeple Podcast from the homepage at the website elcarterodecarcassonne.com. If you want a more visual list of all the episodes, you can access the directory where you will find them ordered from the most recent to the oldest, and there is also a link to the thematic index, which subdivides the podcast into three main areas: interviews, event coverage, and series. The interviews index includes sections such as Carcassonne Spain, Carcassonne.cat, interviews with the international community, roundtables, and corporate interviews. In the event coverage group, the areas are once again Carcassonne Spain and Carcassonne.cat, plus the Spanish Championship and the World Cup in Germany. And the series theme includes the rest of the episodes, such as the recently released The Travels of the Carcassonne Postman and the Book of Carcassonne by Steve D and Dan Chard, as well as the Meeple Drones Corner, the Board Games Corner, and all those programs focused on the expansions and mini-expansions on the game. Also other extra episodes and the making of Meeple Podcast. You have on the website a login to sign up for the Meeple letter, which will basically be a summary of what I'll be publishing on the blog, podcast, and events coverage. This September in Meeple Podcast, you can enjoy international interviews, some of them to the champions of some countries that will participate in the World Cup in Germany, to be held during the first weekend of October, and this time the location of the tournament changes the headquarters of the corporation that holds the technical organization of this competition, Spielezentrum, in the city of Herne. The trophy ceremony will take place at the Spiel Festival in Essen on the following day, Sunday. In addition to the Meeple Podcast interviews, you already have a written interview on the Carcassonne Connection blog. A player, Japanese player, who refused to record her voice on Meeple Podcast because of his bad pronunciation, according to him. So, by mutual agreement, we decided to bring this meeting to Carcassonne Connection, my blog. Finally, I have opened the first Meeple Podcast tournament focused on expansions on Board Game Arena. its name, Meeple Podcast Expansions Tournament. It will be an 8-round, 1 versus 1 Swiss tournament, turn-based, 1 week long per round, with a maximum 256 players. The prizes will be 3 trophies that will be awarded to the 3 best players of this new competition. This event registration is free for all players on BGA and will be opened from 20 days before the starting date, October 1st at midnight on Central European Time. That's all. I hope you enjoy it, and just to say that the podcast will not follow a fixed schedule from now on. I will publish the episodes as a surprise and will be announced on the Telegram channel of Meeple Podcast and Carcassonne Spain, as well as the social networks, Twitter and Instagram. And the weekly newsletter, Meeple Letter, will become fortnightly, and the blog will continue in its current format. A Carcassonne hug to all the audience.